and wanted to make an updated video on how to get Kodi going on your Fire device. I know I've done this in the past, but things update pretty fast and often in the Kodi world. And I was on 17.3 Kodi before, and now 17.6. And some things have changed since the last video I did on this. So just wanted to do a fresh one from scratch. So what you want to do, get your Fire Stick up and connected to your network. You'll be prompted to do that as soon as you you plug it in into your TV and power it on. So assuming you guys have done that already, and this is for any Fire device, Fire Stick, Fire TV box, whatever, it's all good. Hop over to your settings at the top menu bar. And what we need to do is allow downloads from unknown sources. So to do that, you want to go over to Device and go to Developer Options. These by default are both turned off. ADB debugging, we need that on, and we need apps from unknown sources. It's just going to give you a warning message. Don't worry, we're not going to download anything harmful. This is very trusted sites and everything. So go ahead and hit the back button once you've done that. Now, just a quick note, if you already have an installed version of Kodi and you're just looking to wipe it out and start fresh, you can always go into your applications here and manage your installed applications and just select whatever you put in here, and you can delete or uninstall whatever you like. So once you do that, you can just follow the steps in this video and you'll have a totally fresh, clean version of Kodi 17.6, which is the most updated as of February 2018. So I'm going to hit the home button. Now we need a means to go online and get to the Kodi website to download it. Now at the beginning of the year in 2018, Amazon Fire did partner up with Silk and Firefox to enable web browsing, which is pretty cool. However, I did try to do it through these and the file doesn't download in the correct format, and it's just not compatible with your Fire Stick. So we're going to stick to the previous method, which is getting an app called Downloader. It's totally free, very easy to use. And what I've done here, just because I always mess up typing on these things because they put them in alphabetical order, I highly recommend you get the Amazon Fire app for your phone. And what you can do is connect over network to your device, and you can control everything through your phone, and you can even use a keyboard for stuff like this. So that's what I'm going to type on right now. Oh, try to type on. All right, so Downloader, you see it right there, first option. I'm going to select that, and there it is. Look for the big orange box. And as I mentioned, completely free. I did download this before, so it's in my cloud. If you haven't done that, it's no big deal. It's the same thing. Just click on whatever icon you get there. And it just takes a second to install. So go ahead and open it up once it does. And yeah, we're going to allow it to access our device. That's totally fine. I promise you this is not going to hurt anything. All right, so look at that. It's so nice. It even pre-fills the HTTP for the URL. So go ahead and click into this line to bring up your text box. And again, I'm going to use my phone. You can use the keypad provided on the screen with your remote if you want to do it that way. But you want to type in Kodi.tv/download. And go ahead and hit go. I just pressed the play button on my remote, and this will give you a quick message about JavaScript. There's nothing you really have to worry about. Go ahead and click OK. And what you're going to do is take your cursor and just hold down and scroll through the page, and you want to select the Android icon. All Amazon devices run on an Android operating system, so that's what you want to pick. So Kodi 17.6 is the latest version. I will warn you guys, if you go over to development builds, I never recommend downloading these, but if you want to take a sneak peek ahead as to what is coming, which doesn't want to work for me right now, but Kodi 18 is on the way. They are pretty much going to abandon this baseline of Kodi we have, which we'll see like the quote-unquote naked version when we first download 17.6. They're going to update this altogether in the near future. So just a heads up, I'll probably have an updated video on that, I'm sure, once that gets up and running. Anyway, in the meantime, 17.6, we want to go to ARM with the 32-bit. That works the best for Fire devices. So it just takes a few seconds to download. It's only 86 megabytes. And this is really going to be dependent on your internet speed as well. I do have 100 megs per second over my Wi-Fi, which seems to be becoming the new standard anymore. And honestly, to run Kodi smoothly, I would recommend you get a high speed as opposed to the base, which is usually like around the high 20s or low 30s. Alright, so that took a little longer than usual, but still not too bad. And it's giving me a confirmation screen here. Do you want to install this application? So go ahead and hit yes, install. Alright, Kodi is ready to launch. I'm actually just going to do it through the bottom menu and select open. And you can see Krypton 17.6. Alright, so we're in, and this is what I was talking about. This is the Krypton build of Kodi in its purest form. There's no add-ons installed, there's no content. It is just pure Kodi and ready to be toyed with. So hop up to your top cogwheel for your setting menu. And within Kodi, we did it in the Fire Stick, but now within Kodi, we need to allow apps from unknown sources. So we're going to hop over here and go down to add-ons and select unknown sources. Hit yes when you get the confirmation message and go ahead and hit the back button. And we're going to go from the system settings down to file manager. So what we're going to do now is we are going to give it a place to download a zip file that we're going to unpack in Kodi, and it's going to be like an abracadabra type of thing and give us all kinds of good stuff in here. So go ahead and hit add source and select the text box to fill it in. And again, I am going to use my phone to type just to make it a little easier, but you can use anything you like. So the URL we are going to type in here for the zip file is going to be http ://repo zip dot zero tolerance .gq/ Alright, so go ahead and press OK once you have that typed in. Again, I will post this in the description below just so you guys can have a point of reference. But go ahead and hit OK once you type it. And we just have to give it a name right now. So go ahead and click down to get to the lower text field. And just a quick tip, if you add a dot in front of it, it'll just pop to the front of our list in the next step. You can name it whatever you like. I'm just going to call mine .zt just to make it simple. Go ahead and press OK. Now, if you type something wrong, you will get an error message when you go to click OK. I guarantee you this is the right URL for the zip file. So just double check your typing if you get the error message. So I'm going to hit OK now. And no errors, so we're good to go there. Go ahead and press back and hop down to add-ons. And once we're here, go up to the box here that represents open source, which is really what this is. And we're going to scroll down to install from zip file. Okay, and here's our file that we named .zt, and because I put the period, it floated right to the top. Go ahead and select that, and go ahead and click the first option. Now it's going to take you back. Everything's working perfectly fine. In a few seconds, we're going to get a pop-up box on the top right portion of the screen. And just a quick note too, so zero tolerance, these guys just make the builds. They don't control the add-ons within. We have our pop-up message there, but there's hundreds of folks that make builds. Team ZT, they're just run by a great group of people. Definitely Tammy as well. She knows her stuff, and there's other folks there that make good builds outside of ZT, but these guys are continuously listed in the top 5. There's also a pretty cool website called Kodi Apps. They also have an app you can download in the Google Play Store that just lists continuously the top builds for Kodi. ZT is constantly in the top 5. They did have a slight server error, so if you go to look right now, they fell a little, but I guarantee you they'll be right back up there. They actually recently upgraded their servers. Everything's working great now, so that'll catch back up and they'll be back up there. Anyway, so this will just give you a menu of your preferences. I usually just leave this and go ahead and hit continue, and it's going to ask you if you want to build the menu. Yes, you do. But first, we're going to select which menu we want to build. So ZT puts out a number of great quality builds. Probably their most popular is going to be their Cryptics build, which is excellent. And usually I do show off that build when I do these videos. But you know what? In honor of another Marvel movie coming out this month, which is Black Panther, we're going to select the Marvel build. It's probably my second favorite, if not, I don't know. It's right up there for me with Cryptic, so I like them both. You guys are free to check out whichever build you like, but I know for a fact that this one works very good, and so does Cryptic. So we're going to go down to Fresh Install. And just go ahead and hit Continue. And you're going to see it doing its thing over here. Now, this will take... again, depending on your internet speed, mine's going pretty darn quick right now. This will probably take me about 3 to 5 minutes tops, if that. It's going to download, and then it's going to install right after this one. So, you know, take a break, grab a cup of coffee, just let it run and do its thing. All right, so that went ahead and finished downloading and installing for us. Again, for me, I have high-speed Wi-Fi. This took me maybe 5 minutes at most. If it takes longer for you, then all good. But go ahead and select Force Close. And if it does tell you that you got a few errors, that's totally normal. Don't sweat it. All right, so now if Force Close, it took us back out to our last app, which we were using Downloader. I'm just going to go ahead and press the Home button on my Fire TV remote, and that'll take us back home. So if we scroll down, you can see your apps and games. Kodi is here. It's just depending on how many apps you have installed on your stick. It's always going to be at the end because we just installed it. You can go ahead and press the menu button on your remote, the 3 lines, and you could select Move to Front, just to make it easier to find. Once you go into it, it'll also be in your recents. So go ahead and click back into Kodi. And this is pretty cool. They're going to have a Marvel-themed intro coming up. There it is. It's always a little choppy the first time because whenever you run Kodi the first time after installing the build, everything's setting up. You can see all the add-ons updating on the bottom right of the screen. Alright, so you can also skip that intro if you don't want to see that every single time. I think it's pretty cool. But like I mentioned, the first time you run it, it's always going to be choppy. Now is a perfect time to go ahead and grab a cup of coffee or do something else. Let everything set up for you because this is the first time everything's active. It's connecting to the internet, it's downloading updates and all of that. Alright, so I'm back. I just let it run for a couple minutes to make sure everything updated. You can see we have a quick menu at the top. Everything's running. There's no more add-on notifications popping up on the screen, and that's what you want. Everything should be working smoothly. So just to give you a quick run-through of this build, as I mentioned, you're going to have shortcuts to basically trending movies right now. They could be older, could be newer, but stuff people tend to be watching a lot. It's all going to be up here in this menu, which is pretty cool. It's a shortcut. Whenever you select TV or movies or any of these other things, there's always a default add-on assigned. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Movies. An add-on is basically like an app for your phone. It's something you use to complete an action you're trying to do, which obviously in this case we're trying to watch a movie. The default add-on here is Incursion. This is the best working one that I personally you know, from my own experience, I've come across. Incursion has been excellent. The last month or so I've been using it, and it just never lets me down. So it's a great thing. There's a reason they assign that to the default action. If you do have another add-on you like to use, you can go ahead and select from down here. One thing I did find pretty cool was, considering this is a Marvel Comics build, they have basically like a comics extension of Incursion, so this will just sort out everything. You could do Marvel, DC, just top comic book themed movies, anything you like. It's pretty cool. But I'm not going to get too into that right now. Couple of quick things. One thing I always do whenever I get a new build is to avoid those pop-up boxes when you select the source. So you're going to want to do this if that gets annoying. You want to disable hosters with captchas. So whatever add-on you do use, you have to do this for each add-on. So for Incursion, I selected movies. I'm going to go right to the top where the two dots are. And this is kind of going to take you back out of steps. So now we're at the base level of Incursion. You can go into movies, TV, whatever you want. But we're going to hop down to tools. And once you're there, hop on down to playback. And took me into TV shows here for some reason, but I'm going to go to my top menu and go to playback right here. And if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll see hosters with captchas, and that's already highlighted. Go ahead and deselect that so the radio button disappears on the right, and just scroll down to OK. If you just hit back out, it's not going to save anything. So now whenever it pulls sources, the providers with that little pop-up box when you go to select it that says, you know, please log on to blah, 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 those guys won't be there. Occasionally one or two slip through, but like for the most part, it will filter them right out. So I'm going to hit back, and the other thing that you're probably going to have to do, sometimes it does it automatically, other times it doesn't, I guess it depends on your TV, is format your screen size. So just to give you a quick heads up there, go over to System, and if you scroll to the right in the sub-menu, you'll have screen calibration. And mine is actually a little bit off. So you'll see on the top left of the screen, I have a red arrow there in the corner. You want to match that up with the corner on your TV display or your monitor, whatever you're using this on. And do the same thing for the bottom right, and then you get a caption bar, and you want this guy to be a square. And just whatever feels right to you. You press the enter button, it cycles through, and then once you're done, go ahead and hit back. Everything's going to save. All right. And one last thing, if you're having major issues streaming and whatnot, I would definitely recommend going into the speed tester. This is pretty cool to see the true speed that your particular device is getting from your Wi-Fi. I know internet providers say, yeah, we give you blah, 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 but in reality, you might not be getting that, and it could be something from your provider. It could also be something from your router, so that's just something to look into. But that's really pretty much it, so hopefully you guys found this helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Any questions or anything, just drop a comment below and I will do my best to answer. And one more tip I will say, always make sure you exit Kodi properly, because when you go back in, everything will update automatically. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.